Everyone is watching Iran and the US. Its politics, its talks, its production. But supply shocks do not always reveal themselves at the source. They reveal themselves at the destination, in refinery run rates, in product markets, and eventually in consumer prices. The crisis is unfolding in India and Europe. Neither is ready. 8 weeks in, the market has spent most of that time pricing the geopolitical headline. That framing is not wrong, but it is incomplete. The more consequential story is what happens downstream, and it is already in motion. Every additional week of closure hits harder than the one before. This disruption doesn't add up, it multiplies. 5 numbers define where we are right now. 560,000 barrels per day of India crude supply drop since February. A 77% drop in Middle East light product exports since March. $200 per barrel European jet fuel, 10 times Gulf floating crude storage since March 1st. And the UAE out. OPEC exit. The debate about when Hormuz reopens is the right question, asked of the wrong problem. The more consequential question is what comes back when it does. Reservoir production data circulating this week tells a stark story. More than half of Hormuz exposed production sits in low or very low pressure fields. Iraq and Kuwait, the 2 most directly hit producers, operate some of the most pressure depleted reservoirs in the region. Field intelligence is consistent on the timeline. Iraq's southern complex will not be fully back online before 2027. Kuwait faces a 4 to 5 month trajectory without accounting for subsurface damage, longer with it. And here is the historical precedent that should concern everyone. Iran produced at 6 million barrels per day in the late 1970s. After the post-revolution shut-ins, that capacity never returned. Not in 5 years, not in 20. Reservoir pressure loss is not a temporary condition. Once gone at scale, it does not come back. The fields behind Hormuz have been cold for more than 8 weeks. History suggests some of that capacity is gone for good. The market is pricing a door opening. It is not pricing what is behind it. The restart curve is a slow ramp, not a switch. Consensus is pricing the wrong variable. Now the destination story. And this is where it gets urgent. Government import statistics confirm what vessel tracking data has been showing for weeks. India's crude supply has fallen from around 5,300 kbd in February to around 4,800 in April. A drop of 560,000 barrels per day, absorbed almost entirely through lower refinery run rates. There has been no visible product shortage yet. That is about to change. India's summer demand ramp begins in approximately 2 weeks. Air conditioning load, transport demand, industrial activity, all increasing materially through May and June. Refiners who have been running light will need to increase throughput precisely as their feedstock supply is most constrained. The buffer has been used. There is no second buffer. India is not only a major crude importer with roughly 60% Hormuz dependence, it is simultaneously a major regional exporter of jet fuel at approximately 161,000 barrels per day net. When Indian refiners cut runs, that product disappears from global markets. Australia, Hong Kong, and several Southeast Asian economies depend on it. The choice facing India in the next 2 to 3 weeks: source Atlantic crude at a significant premium, draw down stocks, or cut export commitments and export the shortage to its neighbors. Each path has a different price signal embedded in it. None of them is without consequence. Europe is the story nobody is watching closely enough. Major European economies are significant net importers of jet fuel. The UK alone imports approximately 186,000 barrels per day. Primary suppliers including Kuwait, South Korea, and China are all either directly Hormuz exposed or dependent on Hormuz exposed feedstock. Here is the data that confirms the damage is already running. Middle East naphtha exports fell by more than 75% between February and March, from around 1,400 kbd in February to around 330 kbd in March. That collapse has not yet fully transmitted into European consumer prices. Product market tightness takes 4 to 6 weeks to reach the retail level. The clock started in mid-March. The summer aviation season opens in 6 weeks. European carriers are currently either hedged or compressing margins. By June, that protection runs out. Jet fuel at these levels becomes a headline the moment airlines announce route surcharges or cancellations. And that is the moment this crisis stops being an energy industry story and becomes a political story. Governments will face pressure to act. Most have limited tools available. A closed strait does not just strand crude, it removes the product stream that keeps European aviation running through summer. That transmission is already in motion. The market has not yet priced it. Here is one of the most striking data points of this entire crisis. Satellite vessel positioning data shows floating crude storage in the Gulf rising more than tenfold since early March, from approximately 8,000 kilobarrels on March the 1st to over 81,000 as of last week. Laden tankers are being used as floating storage because onshore facilities at key export terminals are at or near capacity. The crude exists, it cannot move. And when Hormuz reopens, this overhang does not clear overnight. Several compounding delays stack on top of any political agreement. The first 1 or 2 weeks will focus on mine clearance and transit safety verification. Watch for vessel crossings above 30 laden crude vessels per day as the first confirmation signal. Then comes tanker fleet repositioning. The available fleet has moved to the Atlantic. Repositioning adds 2 to 3 weeks before a single barrel reaches an Asian refinery. After that comes the field restart ramp, which could take 8 more weeks. Low-pressure fields require workover and careful restart sequencing. Iraq and Kuwait will not return to pre-crisis rates quickly, regardless of what happens above ground. Iran is even more exposed. Very low pressure fields account for roughly half of its production. The initial reopening could look like a glut in the futures market, even as physical tightness persists in product markets. Those two signals will diverge sharply and briefly. Traders who understand the difference between the paper signal and the physical reality will have the clearest edge in that window. On price, major agency forecasts put the floor for crude at $80 to $90 per barrel, even in a full reopening scenario. That floor is credible, but the floor is not the interesting question, the ceiling is. And it depends almost entirely on the India and Europe transmission described before. If Indian refinery run rates spike in the next 2 to 3 weeks and product shortages materialize visibly, the price signal will not be gradual, it will be abrupt. Market pricing puts a 30% probability on Hormuz reopening by end of May, 60% by end of June. There is one further dynamic not yet in consensus pricing: post-crisis restocking. Governments and refiners who are caught short will not allow that to happen again. This restocking will add demand pressure for 6 to 12 months after supply normalizes. The price premium does not end when the strait opens. It transitions from a supply premium to a restocking premium. One final point. The market is struggling with price discovery right now. One significant geopolitical headline can remove $15 from Brent in a week. Futures and physical markets are running disconnected. Capital is not flowing where the fundamentals point. This is not a stable condition. It resolves, usually abruptly, and usually in the direction the physical data has been pointing all along. 3 signals to watch before the next issue. First, ceasefire negotiations. Back-channel talks are reportedly underway. Any credible signal would be the single biggest price catalyst in either direction. A genuine agreement could unwind $15 to $20 per barrel overnight. Watch for a sustained uptick in Hormuz vessel crossings above 40 per day as the first physical confirmation that any agreement is translating into action on the water. Second, India refinery run rates, the 2-week clock. Any data, government statistics, satellite-derived refinery activity, product export figures, showing Indian refiners increasing runs despite the supply constraint signals the product crunch is imminent. This is the leading indicator of the next phase of the crisis. Third, European jet fuel spot price, currently at $200 per barrel. A move above 220 triggers airline surcharges, political noise, and consumer price headlines. The market moves when India runs short and European flights get cancelled. That's not a geopolitical story anymore. That's a consumer story, and it's 2 weeks away. Subscribe to our free weekly newsletter at crudeoildesk.com. If you found this useful, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next video. We publish every week. I will see you there.